to get in the way of the life that you know you can have. Your ignorance can get you some time. I almost faced 20 years for wire fraud because of this boyfriend. And guess what my boyfriend did? He packed his stuff, sent me a text message and said, I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you. Moved out of town, got married, had a kid, and went to jail. And he faced 14 years, and he's locked up right now. That could have been me. I could have been right there with him. If you're in a relationship and you feel like it's uncomfortable, or you feel like you shouldn't be in it, or you feel like something ain't right, get out of it.
In the midst of my then boyfriend becoming a drug addict, him and his brother decided they wanted to commit a robbery because they needed to get high. So the night of the robbery after B&B, he gave me the option of, you go with us or we're gonna kill your brother. I had one request, let me secure my brother, which I did, and I chose to go with him. I was told to ask the first loan lady that I seen for a ride. I did. I asked Miss Favor for a ride. I told her when I got in the car that I was being forced to rob her. They wanted her purse, that they were in a car behind us, and if she attempted to run, they were gonna kill us. Upon me pulling the gun out to show her, it fired and shot her in her jugular vein. She died 2 days after Thanksgiving. I turned myself in. I was found guilty of first-degree murder, felony firearm, and armed robbery. They vacated the armed robbery, but kept the gun and the murder charge on me. So I was given life without parole. I was supposed to die in prison, but God, and I'm here.
I was incarcerated in 1990, served 28 years and 11 months. I was originally convicted and condemned to life without the possibility of parole. The first day in prison was like hell on earth. You know, I couldn't even imagine that I was in somebody's prison serving a life sentence. And it seemed dark, and it was very confusing, very afraid. Then I was 18 years old again, you know, and I had just turned 18, and so I didn't know what to do.
The route I took, whether it was my choice, I had to be accountable for it. I took accountability, I held my responsibility, and then I served my time. I don't want to see the youth at 17 and younger going out in shackles and handcuffs.
I would tell youth that prison is a dream killer, that it's a badge of disgrace and it's not a badge of honor, that it is a real place. It's not what you see on television. I had to sleep on a steel bunk. I had to sleep in a room that I consider a cage, had bars on it, had a steel toilet, and it was very torturous.
How does that make you feel knowing that you have so many people that are close to you incarcerated?
It makes me feel alone because my brothers, we all we had. No mom, no dad, just us, my siblings. So it make me feel alone. It make me feel like a piece of me is gone because my brothers, they was always like the father. They always brought the money, the food, the clothes, the roof, all that. So it was like they was our father.
Some people got fathers that's in prison right now. They got mothers that's in prison right now. But if you go to prison because you made a bad decision and you decide to look out the window when you get to prison, guess what you're gonna see? You're gonna see a brick wall and barbed wire. That's gonna be your reality. So it's all about the decisions that you choose to make. That comes from being angry in school, fighting, bullying, being disrespectful to your parents. All of that stuff is what's gonna get you there. But if you change your mind, you change your life. You change your attitude. You help people that's around you so that you don't go there and you don't get them to go there.
home. Our home. Our home.
Our home. According to the Detroit Department of Public Works, last year, 92 million pounds of litter were collected from illegal dumping in our city. This does not include the litter thrown on the sides of the highways we use to commute, the parks where our children play, the river we swim in, or the community where we live. In 2018, over $10 million of taxpayer money was spent cleaning up our city. You can make a big difference in the amount of trash we see in our city by not littering, reducing your household waste, and practicing recycling in your home.
Our home.
Detroit is our home, and it's up to you to take care of our home.
You may have heard that March 13, 2019 started the measles outbreak in Southeast Michigan. Measles is a highly contagious disease. The symptoms include a high fever, red watery eyes, runny nose, a cough, white spots in the mouth, followed by a rash that starts in the face and spreads to the rest of the body. The virus is spread when the infected person coughs or sneezes. The measles vaccine is a combination vaccine that protects you against measles, mumps, and rubella. The vaccine is safe, it is highly effective, and it does not give you the disease. Children are routinely vaccinated against measles. The first dose is given at 1 year of age, and the second dose is given at 4 years of age. Teens and adults, please verify that you have received 2 doses of MMR. If you have not, or if you are unsure, see your healthcare provider or call us at the Samaritan Center Immunization Clinic. Let's come together and stop the spread of measles. Please get vaccinated.
My name is Allie Rose Vanoverbeck, and I'm the founder of Genesee Eyewear. At Genesee, we make eyeglasses from recycled single-use plastic water bottles in Flint, Michigan. In early 2015, I was volunteering with the Red Cross. I'm a Metro Detroiter, had lived in New York and worked in the fashion industry and took some time off and was really trying to find more meaning and purpose in the work that I was doing, and started volunteering with the Red Cross during the Flint water crisis, and kind of just observed that, you know, not only was the city facing this man-made water crisis, but now there's this surplus of plastic that's coming into the community and what can be done with it. So we started just looking at, you know, what we could do with the plastic, what could be made from it, but really wanting to design a product that was of true purpose and need. And eyeglasses kind of checked all of those buckets for us. It can be made from the recycled plastic. It can be easily manufactured with on-the-job skills training, which then would allow us to create more jobs in the community for everyone and anyone. We knew we wanted this frame to be democratically designed. And by democratically designed, what we mean is that we designed it to fit as many face shapes as possible through taking facial measurements of a diverse group of friends, family, wear testers, and then being able to design the specs of our frame around that, and also wanting the frame to look good as sunglasses as well as prescription optical. We drew inspiration from classic shapes and then kind of put a twist on that, while also taking into consideration redesigning the actual fit and comfortability of our frame. We get a lot of feedback that our frame is really comfortable, and it's because we kind of redesigned the arm shape to fit more streamlined with the natural curve and shape of the head. Sustainability is such like a broad term, and you can define it in so many different ways, but for me, I kind of define sustainability as common sense. Every decision we make is either contributing to climate change or being part of the solution, and that comes down to the decisions we make our purchasing decisions. Every dollar you spend is casting a vote for the kind of world that you want to live in. And we have the option to choose products that are made ethically, sustainably, with, you know, social and environmental impact in mind. I mean, we've had customers who are already buying their second pair, which has been really exciting. A lot of our Kickstarter customers have purchased a second or third pair for themselves and then as gifts, which is great encouragement that people are loving our glasses. I mean, we've been shipping glasses all over the world, which is always, you know, we always kind of like call it out and like share it with the team, like we're shipping a package to Hawaii or we're shipping a package to Spain. We have customers in, you know, British Columbia and Canada, and it's exciting to see that a product and a pair of glasses can really bring positive attention to a community and be a unifier. I feel like in you know, the current state of the world, there's so much divisiveness, and as a brand and as a product to be able to be a unifier in the community and in the world.
Hi, I'm Kevin Carter, the hair artist, and this is Art Detroit.
Just tell me what you need. It's all right here, yeah, in Detroit. Don't matter what it is, it's all right here. Oh.
Hi, how are you?
How are you today?
Good, how are you? Oh, these are so nice.
Isn't that pretty?
All the hair.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going today?
Good, good.
Hi, Kevin. How's it going? You haven't aged one bit.
Well, thank you, and neither have you.
Thank you.
Now, what are we doing with your hair today?
Oh, Kevin, I don't know. You see, I'm looking a little rough today. I might let you just work your magic.
Okay, well, let me get you back to the shampoo bowl.
Okay.
This is our future cosmetologist in the making.
All right now.
Hey, Sheila.
So good to see you.
You too.
I am excited. Wow, Kevin, a 100% human hair.
100% human hair.
How did you even have the vision to do something like this?
I love floral arrangements, flowers. Eventually, I start creating them out of hair and entering hair competitions. So I said, well, maybe if I can do a floral arrangement on a head and keep it nice and light, because the model has to actually wear it.
I was gonna ask, because this looks heavy, so this is light?
It's light. I mean, it moves. Her hair swoops up into the back of it, and it gives the illusion that it's coming out of her head. They evolve. They might start out going in one direction, then you want to change it up for the next year so you're not totally doing the same thing over and over.
Right.
But this was what I'm known for, doing the floral arrangement. You have to learn how to balance it on their head and create the weight so it's light, not too heavy at the top. You know, you learn from making different mistakes. We won at the Bronner Brothers hair show with this
That's a big
international
one.
hair show. Yes.
Now, do you still participate in that one currently?
I haven't, but I probably would do something this year because I've been sitting back for a while. So every now and then you want to come out
And let them know you still
and
doing
let them
it.
know, let the younger stylists know. We asked a friend of mine who's a designer to send us over a garment. She sent us this nice Asian-inspired outfit, so I decided that we would do some fans. So that's what we're doing now. We're just going to layer some fans and kind of blend in the color.
Tell me how you got started doing hair.
Well, I started out doing hair because in the 70s, I used to wear the finger waves, the ocean waves that are back now, you know. And the story is I stayed in the salon for about 8 hours one day. I was like, I could do that myself. You know, 8 hours, I can figure out something to do with my own hair. So I bought some rollers and started rolling and practicing waving and combing my hair. And eventually I got pretty good at it. So everyone kept saying, you should go to beauty school, you should go to cosmetology school. So after about 2 or 3 years, I finally just went, and I've been doing it ever since. I've been making and designing fantasies for over 20 years. I started out with the Wolverine Cosmetologists Association. They were known for their fantasies and creativity.
So what got you started into even doing these fantasy pieces?
I was forced to do one to represent our chapter. And I fought against it and fought against it because I didn't want to do fantasy. I mostly wanted real hairstyle, real hair, and not so much sculpting.
Right.
But we had no one else to represent our chapter. So Gail Livingston forced me to do a fantasy.
What was your very first fantasy piece? Do you remember?
Yes, it was just some waves going up in the air, and I teased some hair and placed them around it, and it was tilted to the side, and it was not what I was known for doing. I was known for doing comb outs, and my work was very precise and beautiful. So when they saw that fantasy looking kind of crazy, it was like, ooh.
You didn't have a choice but to fix your name.
There you go. That's what I was doing, and I end up winning.
The second year?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I stayed up all night working on it.
Yeah.
The night before the show.
Okay.
A lady who specialized in fantasies, Margaretta Odell at the salon, she helped me. She taught me some of her techniques, and I used them and created my own style and flair, because it's all right to copy and learn from other creative people and artists, but eventually you want to come into your own. The name of the salon is Artistry of Hair, where hair and art comes together. But on a daily basis, my clients are pretty conservative. So I don't get to, you know, do all this creative stuff until it's a show or a competition. This is the Proud Peacock. We took this to a world competition that was held in Seoul, Korea.
Tell me you placed with this.
We placed, but we didn't win. You know, because the competition is so stiff.
Yeah.
They may
But you
take
gotta
off
bring
a
it
point.
all the way around.
Like if a hair should be going up instead of down, you know, you can lose a point on anything. If you look, each plume is made out of 100% human hair. This is so light, when she walks, it kind of moves.
Moves with it.
The more you're styling the fantasy hairs, the lighter it should become. You want it to be more efficient in whatever you're doing. So when the show is over, they don't have a headache, they don't have a bad experience. So if you ever have to ask them again, you may get another yes.
Did you ever think that your art would be in the right museum?
Well, I always pictured it in some type of museum. Yeah, I was thinking more of the DIA. I had a photo spread with an exhibit at the DIA once with Bruce Weber, but it was his exhibit, and it was featuring my work. He had photographed it.
So what does that mean to you to have your work on display, you know, in this field that you worked in for over 30 years?
Ooh, it's awesome. You know, just to say that your work has been featured in any museum, and especially by it being the African American Museum and in my city, Detroit, is very close to my heart. Okay, let's stand up and walk with it. You know what, hold on, let me put one piece in the front.
So I know you said that you like to people watch and come to places like this in the belt for your inspiration. So let's take a walk down here and just see what we see.
Yeah. Just looking at the colors and how the colors play into each other. The orange, the greens, you know, there's so many different colors, and the pinks, but they all come together in harmony as one.
Nice.
So I would take that some type of way and apply it to the hair.
Okay.
And we're just gonna give you a warm press.
Okay. So do you have a preference of doing reality hair or fantasy hair?
reality.
Yeah.
That's my bread and butter. You know.
Now, do you get, like certain times a year, like if someone's going to a costume party or something like that, do you get requests for some of the fantasy hair outside of what you do for the shows and stuff?
I do, but sometimes people want to buy it as art.
Wow. Because, okay, so talk to me about this plant that you have up there.
My calla lilies.
Yeah. How did that come about?
Well, I was creating a fantasy hairstyle for a competition. And so I said, well, I could just make some flowers and put them in a vase, and people wanted to buy them. So,
nice.
You know, it's kind of like supply and demand.
Yeah.
They started demanding them, so I started supplying.
I know that's right.
With so many artists in our city emerging now, you know, this is just a good place to come and just look and feed off the energy.
Yeah.
And not only the energy of the art, but the energy of different people.
That are passing through here.
Yes. You can pull from all that and get inspiration.
Do you see yourself doing this for much longer?
Yeah, I'm rounding it up to retire and let the next generation take over. You look
cool.
marvelous.
Oh, yes, thank you, thank you. Oh, I haven't felt my own hair in so long.
So just stay true to yourself and step out on the edge a little bit too. Because if no one, like Miss Gail Livingston, she doesn't take responsibility for me doing fantasy, but I keep telling her yes.
This is all because of you.
Yeah. So every time, you know, people will say, well, they didn't really want to do it. That's not what they want to do. Push people sometimes. Because sometimes we don't know what's inside of us unless somebody, yes, and challenge yourself. Because if it wasn't for her, I really wouldn't be doing this.
That's great.
Since I can remember, I always been like super creative. Like if I ever got in trouble in school, it was because I'm not paying attention because I'm drawing. I'm not paying attention because I'm over here building something. They like, she's smart, but all she want to do is like make stuff all day. So nails came like, I don't know, real natural to me. My relationship between my mom and me doing nails kind of correlated because when she had the shop in the basement, I was way younger. So I was probably like 6 or 7, and I would do her clients' kids, or I would be down there practicing on whoever would let me practice. But when I started making money from it was when I was in college. And I was like broke. And my mama was like, girl, I'm not sending you no money. And I was going to college like down the street. So she was really like, girl, figure it out. I went and bought a nail kit and I started doing my friends' nails, my roommates' nails. And then from there, it would go to everybody in the dorms, and then it would go to people who just went to the school. I would go to class sometimes, but I would mainly be doing nails. And the smell, of course, was the issue. Just the traffic in and out of my room. Like at first they didn't know what I was doing. They was like, it's always people outside of her room. What's going on? And then they found out I was doing nails, and that was a problem too. They're like, you can't do that here. But I left college for the summer, and I started doing nails out of my room. Like I would literally sit on my bed, and my client would sit in a chair, and I would do nails from there. And I was doing nails so much I did not go back to school. I kind of create my nails from top to bottom. I sculpt my nails. I don't use tips, which is basically like gluing on the little plastic nails. The line of press-on nails came about because I was watching Empire one day, and I'm looking at Cookie's nails, and I'm like, her nails look so good. I wonder who does her nails. So I was reading a nail magazine one day, and I came across an article that was talking about her nails and the fact that they were press-ons, and this was probably like 2 years ago. So I started like researching how to find like the full wheel press-on nails and all of that. And then one day I just sat down and kind of sorted out all the sizes, and I made like 100 pairs. It all started from there. I'm like, this is so easy. I can really do this. I really wanted to cater to the people out of town that I reach out to on social media and people who I know that can't wear nails. Because I know I do a lot of people who have like started nursing school, and now that they graduated, they can't wear nails in their field, but they still want to wear them and go out. My client base is basically a lot of young professional women. I see a lot of nurses, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of girls who are just starting their own businesses and making their own way. Nails in the workplace are becoming more and more accepted because when it comes down to like dress codes, there's only so much you can do. So it's like a lot of girls, you know, show their fashion on their nails. So my really professional clients, I never hear them come back and say anybody called their nails like ghetto or too much. Like that's where I get my most clientele from, my most referrals are people who work in office settings. I had one client who said she gave a presentation after I had did her nails, and she said nobody asked her questions like about the presentation. Everybody wanted to know like, who did your nails? The response I get on social media in general is I get a lot of love, honestly. So to know that a lot of people like support my work and really like think what I do is great or that I'm really good at doing nails, I really take that and I appreciate it.
episode and want to see more, follow us at City of Detroit. Check out more stories from the neighborhoods at Stories from DET and tap into featured events in the city on Instagram and YouTube at Burst Detroit.